that you'd want to pass along?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big ones is you don't need to take an animal out of the water for 30 pictures. One is really all it takes.
Well, that seems to be the case, especially for something like a hammerhead. You see that all the time on the news. People catch a huge shark. And
yeah, I mean, you want the glory shot, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's a hard truth that people are going to have to overcome, and you can still get a really cool shot of the animal in its natural environment in the water. And I think that's something we want to really promote, because when you take them out of the water, they're holding their breath, so to speak. And think about the animal's already been fighting on a line, exhausted. It's like a double whammy.
Okay, so happy Shark Week, everybody. I was originally going to do a video on how to catch sharks for this week when Cast King's wonderful eco girl, Kristen, and another wonderful person on the company team had a conversation with me. Recently, Kristen was talking to a scientist. You guys will see it on the Cast King channel. And there's a lot of interesting information that came to light. But it's not easy for me to digest this because I love fishing. I've fished my entire life, guys. And when I'm told no, you know, it's kind of like, what? What? No? What do you mean? But as a responsible, mature adult, and who has to be emotionally mature, the hard truth here is no, for a lot of fish species. So what I was listening to right here was a podcast actually done by University of Miami, a scientist, and I believe it is yeah, he's a shark scientist over there. His name is Austin Gallagher, and it was a long study started in 2010. That's when they first took blood samples. And they took blood samples from sharks to determine their stress levels. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that when we catch a fish, it's trying to get away, it's stressed. And the harder it fights, the more it stresses, and the more lactic acid it builds in its body. As you know, we human beings also produce lactic acid when we exercise, which has to be broken down by the body. Freshwater fish such as the muskellunge or muskie have a very, very hard time metabolizing lactic acid, and therefore, you know, I think most people that target them know you got to catch these things quick, you got to bring them in quick, you got to let them go quick. And the hotter the water gets, the harder it is, especially for them to also break it down then and to recover from stress. In this case, this study was done on sharks and how well each different species of shark can handle stress. And you'd be surprised at how many sharks will die after being caught, swimming off fine, even given time to rest and, you know, to recover. Now in New Jersey over here, we are not allowed to actively target prohibited species. So brown sharks, from what I understand, are not prohibited. From what I understand, you are not allowed to possess them. You're not allowed to keep one. You're not allowed to kill one. Sand tiger sharks, however, are a prohibited species. What that means is when you fish for them, you're not allowed to actually target them. You are not allowed to target sand tiger sharks. And if you catch one, you're not allowed to possess it. And what that means is bringing it up on the sand, bringing it really out of the water officially, or holding it up officially. The moment it's possessed by you, where it has no free roam to move around, such as, you know, if I were to take it completely out the water or again onto the beach, that is illegal. And actually, the laws are very stringent to the point where if you're possessing a prohibited species and it dies, you can go to jail. And there's actually a really good chance that you will be prosecuted in the courts and you'll go to jail. So there's a lot of danger also in catching one of these fish, because if it passes away and, you know, someone sees it, or it gets out there, you are facing some serious legal difficulties. And so in light of this, there will be no shark content any longer on my channel. A lot of shark species in the world are doing very bad right now. The shark fin trade is no joke, and it is murdering sharks beyond belief. There are a lot of good advocates on Instagram, out there on social media, out there doing work to try to promote the understanding. But you guys, you don't understand. You know, it's like the same thing when a striper fisherman in a certain area where there's a lot of stripers, usually where they've gone lately, says, oh, stripers are doing fine. they're only thinking about their area. They don't think about the fact that how the ocean works and migratory patterns work, and fish species from all over the world can end up in different areas due to different Gulf Stream currents, or stream currents in general, and times of the year, and breeding patterns. Well, let's say guys down in Florida might say, yeah, we have a lot of sharks around. Sharks are doing fine. That's a very ignorant thing to say. No, there's a good chance that they're not. However, in your area, they might be okay. So, either way, sharks are not doing well, and they're really being hunted down across the world, and something really needs to change. And due to the fact that it is Shark Week, I want to instead celebrate the fact that we are learning how to now catch and release safely certain species of shark. We're also learning to not go after certain species of shark. And so what I'm going to do really quick, guys, because of the fact that we're not having shark content anymore, and I hope you guys understand this, is I'm going to explain to you some of the findings of the study. And the reason why is because I want you to be aware of this more. Now, what are the findings of this study that's really turned me around? Well, think about this. Of the species of shark that are really, really sought after here in the US, especially down in Florida, the hardest fighting species are the ones that really people want to catch, such as the bull shark, such as the blacktip shark, such as especially the hammerhead. Now get this, these samples have been taken since 2010. They just recently ended their study within the last, I think, year. Almost half of the hammerheads, no matter how long they were caught, whether it took 10 minutes to bring them in or 50 minutes to bring them in, and then released quickly, even though they weren't even beached, 47%, that is almost 50, that's almost half of the hammerheads died. They're so sensitive to stress and this fishing stress that they just dropped dead. They swam off fine and dropped dead. And the only reason why they know that is because of the satellites that they've tagged. Like those tags they got in their fins. Blacktip sharks also high chance of mortality. Why? Because they're beached often. People down in Florida love catching them from the surf, and they put up a huge fight. So they're building up all this lactic acid that they can't metabolize. Also, you combine that with warm water, and it is harder for fish to recover in warmer waters, especially once it goes above 70 degrees. It's a recipe for disaster. Bull sharks, 74% of bull sharks were fine, but that means a quarter of them, even though they were fought shortly and then released, still died. That is really bad. That is not like, okay guys, once in a blue moon we might catch a fish that's not going to make it. That's like, guys, we're really gambling with the life of this creature. And so these findings are just extremely interesting, but I highly recommend that you guys listen to Austin Gallagher on the podcast that I was listening to. Look more into this, and you'll be surprised how accurate these long studies have been from these scientists, and that we really need to do something. So there will no longer be any shark content on my channel if I ever do go along with people who are fishing for sharks in general. Well, as it actually seems, I looked more into it now, between scenes and sandbar sharks are also prohibited. So sandbars and sand tigers are the only thing that we really get here in Jersey, and they're both prohibited. So if you can't target prohibited species, what are you targeting? It's just, this is a sad moment of my life, But I gotta say, after the sharks that I've caught, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've taken them out of the water, especially the young fish. I should have never done that, guys. In the last couple of videos, I did a lot of things wrong that I hope none of you repeat, such as taking the shark out of the water, taking too long to take a picture, and that was wrong of me. So, if anything, take a video if you're fishing for sharks, stripers, sharks with wire leader and at least 200-pound shock leader. Take a video, get a still off that video, use that as a picture. You never know, it might actually turn out really nice. Let them go right away. Remember, they can't breathe and pump their gills like normal fish. So, they have to have constantly moving water going through their mouth. And just don't bring them on the beach. Don't land them, don't possess them, leave them in that water, guys. I urge you, because I would hate to see us lose these predators that balance the ecosystems of the ocean. Alright guys, well that has been it for today. I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry for the mess over here. My lease is about to end on Sunday, so I've got 2 days right now to get everything cleaned up and finished and get the heck out of here. And we'll talk more about what kind of Catterman Adventures we're going to be going on in the future, because geologically we are changing our location. Geologically? I think geographically. Yeah, geographically we're changing our location, guys. I got it right. Oh man, I'm tired. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts and your feelings about this topic. This is a very sensitive topic right now in the fishing industry, and I really think it needs to be addressed. As always, I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and yeah, I appreciate you guys' support. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, you should probably subscribe. Why? Well, because it's going to be awesome, and you will not regret it whatsoever. So yeah, guys, I look forward to hearing from you guys down in the comment section, and we will talk to each other again soon, huh? All right, Catterman and Catterwomen, I'll see you guys next time. Catterman out!